Hello and welcome to Talking Games. Just finished Liverpool 3, West Ham United 2. This might be possibly the cheeriest defeat review you will ever have. I don't know. I'll speak to these two in a minute, but I'll tell you what also takes a minute, apart from me getting on with the show, for you to check yourself. All this week, our videos in collaboration with the Dylan Tombides Foundation. The link is in the description below if you want to go check out the website. But it takes you just a minute, gentlemen. So pause this video, have a little fondle, and make sure you're safe. Be safe, be aware, and all that good stuff. Gonzo, I'll ask you both this before we get into the game. So, Gonzo, how are you feeling right now?
A little bit disappointed, I think, but not annoyed with us or any of our players or anything like that. Just disappointed. It felt there was genuine relief. Not for the first time in a game against Liverpool. Funny enough, memory serves me. I thought we were going to beat them, and they ended up beating us. But we did ourselves proud, so I feel all right, mate.
What about yourself, Bez? How are you feeling after that game?
I felt every emotion in the last 90 minutes, highs, lows, and it's just a typical West Ham performance, really. I am actually gutted. I don't know, maybe the excitement took over a little bit when we went 2-1 up, and I was a little hopeful that we'd really at least get a point or 3 points, but yeah, I'm disappointed, mate. I am gutted. It's just going 2-1 up and having that excitement and then losing 3-2 is always a bit of a downer, isn't it? So.
Yeah, I'm not too bad, actually. I am proud of the boys, actually. I'm really, really proud of the boys. I think even when it was 2-2, you could sense what was maybe a way to come. But I was thinking at that point, I'm happy with what I've seen tonight. We wanted to see positivity. We saw plenty of it out there tonight. And we just, not necessarily ran out of steam, but we just had a little bit of bad luck. The one guy we've been relying on for last season has made a couple of rare errors this evening, but he did sort of give us a couple of big saves during the game as well. So I'm already looking ahead to the next game with a bit of hope that I maybe did not have 3 hours ago before tonight, for example. Gonzo, it took them just 1-0 though. 1-0. Sorry, it took them just 8 minutes. It took them 8 minutes to go 1-0. The ball coming from the right hand side from Trent Alexander-Arnold, and there was Ronaldo to just knock it home.
Yeah, I thought Aaron Cresswell made a couple of decent attempts to block it. He possibly could have got the third block in. Didn't quite manage it. He managed to, was Wijnaldum, wasn't he? He managed to drift in between everybody, really, sort of unmarked. But you can understand why, because also almost the attack had pulled over to that side, which made the centre-backs sort of get distracted and go over to that way. He came from deep. He was unmarked. But what goalkeepers call soft wrists, actually. Goalkeepers often, they do a lot of stuff, do a lot of work on their wrists. So when the ball hits the hand, the wrist don't go back. So they would call that one soft wrist. He'll be disappointed not to have kept it out, Fabianski, because he actually did the hard part. The athleticism of getting down and getting across was very, very good. Excellent reflexes to get there, but so he'd be disappointed. And at that point, obviously, so early in the game, you thought, oh no, we're in for a rout here.
Bez, what were you thinking at 1-0 down after just 8 minutes?
The usual, here we go, how many is it going to be? But yeah, going into the game, I was actually surprised we made it to 8 minutes. But no, we started off well, and the equaliser to come back was very swift and was brilliant. It was just unexpected, but after that I thought, yeah, come on, like this could be something different here. So yeah, I wasn't getting my hopes up too much, but at the same time I was appreciating the equaliser. But yeah, 8 minutes into the game, going 1-0 down ain't always the best start, is it? So
Gonzo Soccerem tried to make bounce back ability a word, and well, we sort of done that, didn't we? Just 2 minutes after conceded. We said at the preview in the build-up, set pieces are key, and we got a flurry of set pieces and we took one of them.
Yeah, I felt for you a little bit, because I caught a little glimpse of your bet on Twitter this afternoon, which was not many corners and all that. And I thought, hold on, we're getting a few here, and the deliveries were good. I think Anderson had one just before, was a good delivery. Snodgrass took it this time. And what I really liked was the way that Diop was stronger. than Gomez. I thought that was really good. There wasn't too many times when West Ham player got the better of Gomez tonight. A player I know that you really rate as well. I mean, yeah, the commentator was saying the goalkeeper should have done better. Maybe, but there's no way that you would have thought that Diop was going to be able to hold him up, get across. I also think he was I think Gomez was slightly distracted by the fact that Rice didn't get the ball, but also by the same token, you've got to give praise to Diop, because that must be quite a hard skill. If you think somebody else is going to head the ball, you've got to adjust your timing quite quickly. So I think also Diop looked like he's going to get the ball. He reacted really quickly, quicker than Gomez, angled the header nicely, and it was, like Bez said, it was such a quick turnaround there, and you thought, we're up for this. And the fact that we went straight up there and had a go showed that, hold on, we fancy ourselves for this game. This was not a rerun of the Manchester City game in terms of our attitude,
Yeah, when they scored, I was disappointed when you see the more replays you saw, the worse it got. Really, you saw Snodgrass standing still and Ronaldo peeling away from him, and then you saw Fabianski get a hand to it, but just not strong enough. You thought, oh no, because when you play Liverpool, it's very unforgiving. You make one mistake, you're punished. We made two, and it was 1-0 Liverpool. And I thought, right, you cannot make any more mistakes, but you'll get onto that. But to go down the other end, and it's the way we kept the ball alive as well, actually. We got the first corner, and then it come to nothing. And Ogbonna actually stayed up, and Ogbonna pressured. I think it was Trent Alexander-Arnold. He pressured Trent Alexander-Arnold and conceded another one. The ball come in, Souček gets his head to it, goes out for another corner, and I thought, okay, at least we've got something here. And then we got the goal. But what I liked most was actually Antonio, not just pissing off Alisson, but this is where we've almost got the first example, in my opinion, of the Kevin Nolan effect. That is Kevin Nolan's job all day long. Kevin Nolan made half a career out of standing on the goalkeeper at corners. It's almost like he's been teaching Antonio in training all week. This is how you piss off a goalkeeper at corners. You don't touch him, you stand in his way, you make him come to you, but you do not fight back. You just stand, hold your ground, and that's what he's done. And by the time Alisson realises what's happening, it's too late. But it's fantastic by Diop to get his head to it. 1-1. And we're in 1-1 at half time. Bez, what were you thinking at half time?
Well, I was quite happy with the performance. I mean, I didn't think Anderson played too well first half, but I'm not going to start digging our players out in general. I genuinely thought that we held our own. It was a performance that I was happy. That there was a 10-minute spell towards the end of the half, and I'm thinking, please don't concede before half time. Please don't concede before half time, because this could be a different game. But again, like you say, I thought Snodgrass's deliveries from the corners was superb. I thought he whipped some proper balls in, and there was a couple of corners. Obviously, the one that we scored, but there was a couple after that where they were quite dangerous. Like we could have got on the end of it. But yeah, there was some good play. Like Gonzo said, it was a completely different game to what Man City was. We actually held our own, and I was quite satisfied. The first half, I think anyone would be going to Anfield and going in 1-0 at the break. You've got to be happy with that. Considering the way that they scored straight away, I actually felt that we was keeping them at bay quite well. They had a few half chances. They didn't really have a lot. I mean, nothing that you would turn around and go, well, yeah, that should have been a dead 2. I felt 1-1 was a fair result at half time going into it. So.
Gonzo, happy at the break?
Yeah, I will. Unlike gentleman that Bez has been, I will dig a couple of players out, to be fair, because I did think I thought Noble and Anderson were terrible in that first half. They gave the ball away so often. The only difference between them was that Noble was committed and Anderson wasn't. Anderson seemed to be playing. In boxing terms, you call it gun shy. If you're gun shy, you're a boxer. You're frightened to get punched. You're like that all the time. And I don't know what the footballing equivalent of gun shy is, but that's Anderson. He's frightened.
Lack of bollocks.
Yes, but I don't just mean physicality. Yes, he was pulling out of 50-50 tackles, but it's not just that. It's almost like he doesn't want to commit to anything. The pass is 75% of what the pass should be. The pirouette dribble. If you're going to commit to it, dribble. Do it. Just do the full pirouette and have confidence. He almost tried to do half a pirouette, then put his foot on the ball and then try and play it safe and backwards and sideways. And just almost everything he tried to do, he seemed to pull out halfway through, if that makes any sense at all. That being said, I thought Souček and Diop were immense in that first half. And you couldn't help but be excited by Ngakia as well, who just kept on growing into the game. So there was a lot there was a lot to be pleased about. And with that bench, even though, to be honest, as I say, I did want Anderson and Noble taken off, even though they went on to get better in the second half. Clearly, they had a rollicking from David Moyes. With that bench, you felt that Moyes had options to change it around if he needed to.
I was delighted at half-time. I was really, really happy. I thought, bar one player, I thought everybody was given 100%. I know you think Noble was poor. I think he was okay. I think he was almost given an impossible role today by Moyes in the first half. He was almost playing as a number 10. He was chasing centre-backs, but I thought, what is he doing here? He's not going to last 90 minutes doing this role. So I'm going to give him a little bit of a pass for that, because he's just too slow. There's a couple of times Noble actually, he knocked it past Fabinho a couple of times, but he then relied on pace, and you thought, this isn't really going to work, is it? But I thought he gave his all. I thought Anderson bottled a lot. I thought he just didn't have enough bollocks on the pitch in the first half. I forgive him for conceding possession. A couple of times he got crowded out. I don't mind that, because there was little option for him. But he refused to turn around and run after the ball. He just sort of gave it up a little bit. And that is something I have an issue with, because lack of confidence can play a part in someone's enthusiasm to try and take a player on. I can forgive him for that a little bit, but lack of confidence has nothing to do with work rate. Lack of confidence has nothing to do with someone's desire to chase back and put a foot in. And that's something that's been credited to Anderson quite a lot this season, that he does track back and he does tackle. That tonight I did not see that from him at all in the first half, and I thought he was a bit of a liability, actually. But I thought Souček was unbelievable in there. I thought he was dominating that midfield. I had a little look at half time. He'd won 5 headers and Van Dijk had won 3, and then everyone else was on 1s and 2s. Our goal kicks was quite clear. Aim for Souček on the halfway line. He was winning most of them as well. I thought he was just absolutely brilliant in the first half, and there was a couple of others as well, but I'll get on to them. The only reason I mentioned is Souček because he got subbed off just a minute into the second half. Obviously, there was a bit of a concern at half time because Pablo Fornals came out sort of ready to come on, and Moyes had a word with him immediately before the game had even kicked off, and within a minute Souček went down, which looked like a groin injury, so you have to hope it's nothing serious in the fact that they were willing to give him a try for the second half. But Gonzo, the impossible happened. Well, what we thought was impossible happened. We scored. Pablo Fornals scored. Declan Rice puts the ball in, Fornals hits it on the volley. It's 2-1 at Anfield.
Yeah, and great build-up play leading to it. We seemed to keep the ball for a significant period of time. I think maybe transpire and you look at it was 5 passes, but it felt to me like a significant period of time, and they kept on trying to work it and wait for the opportunity to come, and it seemed that there was a couple of exchanges, Snodgrass involved. In the end, Rice found himself wide, as he did in the previous game, but unlike the previous game when he found himself wide, he was very much on his own up there. There were options in there, and you know what? And he finds the space in the box. Fornals does. That's what he does. That's what he does. But Moyes alluded to. I read a quote from Moyes talking about Fornals. He said, "Yeah, he scored 1 in the cup for us, and as I understand, he scored 4 before I came in, or something like that, or he scored a few before I came in. But he needs to get a bit of Britishness into his game." And he was, I wouldn't say damning him with faint praise. I'd say it was criticism, which is what I read. But what he does do is he does find space in the box.
Where did you read that?
On the internet, obviously, not in the
on Twitter.
I think so.
I think someone made that up.
Oh, crikey. Well, you know me, mate. It doesn't matter. I'll read anything.
I think that was someone having a dig at David Moyes and made that quote up as if this is why Fornals isn't playing.
Oh, right. Mate, if you're going to catch a fish, you're going to catch me. Let's be perfectly honest. But let's, for the sake of this, pretend that he said it. He was wrong. But anyway, he got into there and he just gets into the space. And he managed to direct it with his shin or something, sort of shinned it into the goal, really, didn't he? Scuffed it into the goal. I couldn't believe it. You know, what a great build-up. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And do you know what? I actually thought at that point, Liverpool did not look to be in the game. Sounds ludicrous. Look at their record. Look, we saw how they played against Norwich. They weren't particularly good in there and they came back. So you know they've got it within them. But increasingly, if you saw... not for Firmino was dropping increasingly deeper, really, really deep. I mean, it was sometimes he was alongside Fabinho, it's so deep in midfield, and they were really struggling. They were struggling to do something. And I thought, hold on, we're in with a real chance here.
Bez, initially it was a sub we didn't want to see. So Czech going off for Pablo Fornals. We didn't want to see that sub. He was playing so well, but on the 55th minute at Anfield, it was a sub we were glad that happened.
Yeah, too right. I mean, we've all been a little bit. Fornals hasn't had as much game time as what we'd have all liked this year, for whatever reason. But one thing you have got to do is give him credit. When he does come on, he does run around like headless chicken. He chases balls down. He's looking to get on the end of things. And 55 minutes, mate, you know, after half time, I actually thought that, yeah, we were growing into the game more than what Liverpool were. Like Gonzo said, they didn't look like the Premiership winning side that we've seen so much of. I mean, I don't know what Klopp had said to him. Like, I don't know. We just come out. We were the better side up until the goal. And yeah, like you say, the finish was superb. Again, the build up. Rice just crossed it. Whether or not he meant it to drop to Fornals, it doesn't matter. But his instinct was to just whip it in quickly, and then the goal was there. It was a good finish. Like you say, I was disappointed about Souček. I hope it's not serious, because I'm just echoing what you guys have said. He was superb the first half, absolutely superb. Like someone that we need in there, winning headers. The guy's a unit. I mean, I even see him ping a couple of balls out wide that were just unnatural, but it seemed like, wow, like it draws your attention to like his passing. He was just a rock. He was a rock. And then three Liverpool players, you got Keita, Fabinho, and Wijnaldum. I mean, they're quite hard players to play against. Like, you know, I mean, Noble was. I agree with Gonzo. Noble was a little bit off pace. Again, you know, it may be he's getting older, isn't he? So he's not going to be the same. But like you say, he did put a tackle in where he needed to. But so I thought the three of them were okay. I thought that together them three were good. But yeah, the goal was brilliant. I mean, little one's been in bed since 7 o'clock, and I woke him up cheering. So he was crying. But
he'd be pleased to find out in the morning that you woke him up. West Ham have won the game, Bez, wasn't he?
That's it. But then I've got to tell him what the score was. Yeah. So, but no, for the minute it was ecstatic. Again, like you say, you feeling all them emotions. You know, it went from like so happy, and then obviously I let you guys roll out what happened after the 55th minute.
In the 65th minute, though, Sebastian Haller came on and replaced Felipe Anderson. Just 3 minutes later, it was 2-2 at Anfield. Gonzo, one mistake from Fabianski in a game is rare. Two is unseen so far at West Ham. We almost saw the Arsenal Fabianski.
Yeah, well, what we must first... Well, I don't have to say it. Everybody knows it, but I will say it anyway. We would have been relegated without Fabianski. Actually, last season, he was worth... I don't remember the stats, but he was worth a lot of points to us. It might have been 15 points or something stupid. He is... our projected finishing position was a lot lower without his wonderful performance. And let's not forget, he was Hammer of the Year as well. So absolutely wonderful. And in fact, I refuse to believe that it was Fabianski. And so I reckon Roberto has snuck into the fancy dress shop, got a Fabianski costume, Fabianski disguise, snuck onto the bus, waited for Moyes to read it out, and we actually had Roberto in goal there, just doing his worst. Terrible mistakes. Really, it's a bad day at the office, but he's got enough credit in the bank to allow for that. So we get. Go on, sorry.
It's hard to criticise him too much given what he's done at West Ham so far. And he made a couple of top saves during the game as well. There's one from Salah in the first half, and there was one in the second half. I think it was from Salah or Trent Alexander-Arnold. His front post, and it sort of looped up and went away from the goal. And it's just so disappointing when you watch it back. I know Ogbonna's in his way and he goes through Ogbonna's legs, but of all the keepers, you think this guy will be fine, and I don't know, it's just disappointing, but it's hard to criticise him. But we're talking about the context of the game. We're talking about 90 minutes only here, and in the 90 minutes, Fabianski has cocked up the first time, and the second one was even worse. But in the 81st minute, Liverpool got their third. Bez, you could maybe sense it, but ball over the top for Trent Alexander-Arnold, knocked it past Fabianski, and Sadio Mane was there just to knock into an empty net.
Yeah, I thought there was a little bit of luck
Yeah.
with regards to the deflection. It was hard because Fabianski, even though, like you say, Fabianski made the mistake, I'm not going to start sitting here and blaming Fabianski, like you say, for mistakes. The guy's a legend and what a keeper, but unfortunately he's had an off night. But he was caught in two minds. Like, I felt like he was already committed to come out. The ball was chipped over. It was deflected. He was halfway there. It was like he has to go for it. And unfortunately, Arnold got there before him and chipped it over, and there was Mane to score. Again, it come from down that side, and there was a goal that was disallowed shortly after that, which is a similar sort of goal. It wasn't chipped over or deflected, but again, it was down that left side. So they. I don't know. I'm not going to say it was Cresswell's side, but again, it seems to be like that they were targeting that side sort of thing a lot more. But yeah, it's such a shame. I didn't want to say like, oh, I told you so, but I just felt like it was so long. It was like the longest 25 minutes of my life to hold out for a game. It was, oh mate, I think I could have walked to the shops and back 10 times in that time. Like, I could just feel it. Like, it's just the way things are at the minute for us. When we need a little bit of luck, it's not going our way, and then all of a sudden, deflected straight in the path of Alexander Arnold. There we go, goal. West Ham 3-2 down. We're never coming back from that. But yeah, we did have a chance at the end, didn't we, with Bowen? So, which obviously I'll let you talk about. But yeah, I was gutted, mate. I was absolutely gutted.
Bowen came on for a slightly injured Robert Snodgrass on the 83rd minute. 2 minutes later, Liverpool made it 4-2 before it was ruled out rightly by VAR, and then Bowen had an opportunity in the last minute. One-on-one, kind of. It was a bit wide as well to be a proper one-on-one, but it was a good save by Alisson, perhaps disappointing for Bowen. But it finished Liverpool 3, West Ham United 2. Gonzo, what's your overall thoughts on the game, if you like?
On the game itself,
yes.
I am really pleased, actually. I am really pleased. I think for the last few days, I have been pretty much certain we're getting relegated. And now I'm not so sure. That's given me a bit of hope, actually. I have been fearful of Southampton coming to the Olympic Stadium, and now I'm not so much. There's some provisos in that. I think we need to stick with the four at the back. That's very clear. I don't put too much stock behind us conceding 3 goals. Now, I think to win any title, you're going to need a bit of luck. I certainly believe to go undefeated, you're going to need a lot of luck. Listen to any of the Arsenal players talk about it, Robert Pires or any of that mob that went undefeated. There was lots of times when they were lucky. None of the Liverpool goals are going to be winning goal of the season, goal of the month, or even goal of the weekend.
Or goal
Salah
of the
probably
match.
could. Sorry, a goal of the match. Yeah, absolutely. Salah probably can't believe he scored. I mean, how many goals go through the defender's legs and the goalkeeper's legs? Mm-hmm. The deflected goal was massively fortunate. And it's fortunate as much as it's probably only Kevin De Bruyne that's better at assists in the Premier League than Trent Alexander-Arnold. Gets deflected. Where's it end up? At Trent Alexander-Arnold's feet. Mane can consider himself lucky because he's been completely shackled all game. I believe that Mane's probably going to win Player of the Season. Well, I'll tell you what, he didn't have a great night tonight, and there was a very, very good reason for it. But in just talking about the game, I think we could take hope from it. You couldn't convince me, Gio. You could tell me that we tried to win the game against Manchester City, but you wouldn't convince me. I wouldn't believe you if you told me. I think we tried to win tonight, and that is huge, because what it gives us a lift. It gives us confidence. Have we taken any points? No, we haven't. But we've taken something to take back to that training ground that Moyes can now turn around and say, look, if you do things like this, we'll pick up points. I'm sure he has been saying that anyway, but now the players will believe him when he says it. I think it's ridiculous, really, but I think that's given everybody a lift. And I don't know. I've not read any comments because we do this live, but I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of Liverpool fans saying that was one of our tougher games this season, and we can't ask for much more than that, really.
Bez, what's your thoughts on the game, please?
Yeah, just like you say, just echoing. It certainly gave me a lift going into Saturday. We didn't go out to win the Man City game, whatever, regardless of what anybody was saying and what Moyes said. That's absolute bollocks. Today, I felt like we did. Again, we went to 4 at the back, which is what we know. It just goes to show by changing that formation. Like, we sat so far more upfield. We were, even when there were pockets of space and we were going forward, we were half a threat when they were committed. So I just felt overall, the formation was correct today. It wasn't a bad performance, and I'm pretty sure that if you do play like that against some of the teams that we've got coming up, I can't see why we're not going to get any points from them. Like I say, Southampton, their away form is good on at the moment, but they come into our ground. I mean, we did play all right today, lads. We got shafted. I mean, it was a lucky goal, the third one. I mean, Fabianski's made a mistake. On another day, we might have held out for a draw, but I'm taking positives. I'm not gonna say anything bad about the performance. I am a bit gutted, but then again, they're going to win the league, so it was expected. Did I expect to get anything from today's game before it started? Probably not. It was the manner of the performance. We actually held our own for a long period of time, and we actually give the fans something to cheer about. I heard the fans singing a lot, which was good, and that's all you want from a supporter. Like, especially going to Liverpool, Man City, you actually just want to know that your team's prepared to just give a little bit of a performance, and I felt we did that today.
I'm going to say something negative first. It's the only thing that's been niggling me, so I'm going to get over and done with before I chuck the praise in, which should speak louder than the negativity. I didn't like the substitution. He took Anderson off for Sebastian Haller, and I think that killed us a little bit. I think we went from counter-attacking to someone not very mobile up front, and when Bowen come on at the end, we got to see immediately what a counter-attacking kind of player does, the run he kind of does. I think the Haller substitution was wrong. I think that sort of stumped us a little bit going forward, so that's the only negativity. But I think Moyes got his tactics spot on tonight. Apart from the sub, I thought it was really good to see 4 at the back. That was quite brave of him, for someone like him, to go to Anfield and try that. We attacked in numbers, plural, and when I say numbers, I mean we got 5, 6 sometimes up the pitch. When we had a set piece, we got the big boys in there. It was good to see at corners, Antonio, Rice, Balbuena, Souček all bunching together as a group. We almost had a plan for everything, and I was really, really happy with what I've seen. I've come away today almost more upbeat after defeat than I have after draws this season. I feel a lot more positive tonight than I did against Brighton, although we got a point against Brighton. I feel happy tonight. I'm proud of majority of the players out there tonight. There's a lot of questions. Do we have the heart? Do we have what it takes to... we've joked sometimes, Gonzo, you've joked about saying it's a relegation battle, but we're not even battling. Well, actually, tonight we are. Well, we are battling tonight, and I think a lot of the players showed tonight they are up for the battle. It's time to roll the sleeves up, and they're going to do it. And they've gone to Anfield and done it. They've gone to Anfield. It is frustrating because you think, where was this for this game and that game? This game, we wouldn't be in this situation, but we are. But like Bez says, this now gives us something to look forward to. You look at Southampton, you think, you know what, we repeat that, we're probably going to get something out of that game. There'll be teams around us tonight. We've sat over the weekend watching Watford lose, Bournemouth lose, Villa lose, thinking, thank God, happy days. Tell you something, their fans will have watched that tonight. Monday night on Sky and went, crap, West Ham are fighting. This is not good. Those teams, all those fans would have been banking us giving up a little bit. They've been looking at us going, that's the out of form team. They're going down with Norwich and it's one of us. They're probably watching now tonight thinking, this is not good. This is not good for us now. I'm really proud of the players, really, really proud. And something, credit to Moyes. I'm his biggest critic at times, and apart from the sub, we've done well. I just hope this gives Moyes encouragement for future games to go for it a little bit, because me and Gonzo got a little bit of stick after the City game because we said it's not good enough. We've thrown the defeat, and a lot of people said, well, it's good to lose 2-0. Well, actually, tonight we've shown you can go and have a go and lose and come out of it not conceding 6 goals. A lot of people seem to think if you attack, you're going to concede 5 goals. Well, actually, we nearly conceded 5 against City. Tonight, we're unlucky to concede 3 and possibly unlucky to only score 2. I think we're unlucky to not come away with a point, but we certainly come away with something. Bez, can you pick 1 or 2 players to praise, please, tonight?
Yeah, just quickly, I just wanted to get back to the Anderson situation. I do actually agree with the situation that the sub killed the game a little bit. I did feel that Anderson was coming into the game a little bit more from the first half. He played. For me, he didn't play very well first half, and then when the substitution was made, he was starting to create. I don't know. I think Moyes had put a rocket up his arse and told him, "Look, you've got to sort it out." So I just wanted to get onto that quick and just say I do agree with what you're saying there. I think it was the wrong time to make that substitution. But players for me, I thought the kid done well. I thought he held his own at right back. Like you say, he kept Mane at bay for long periods of the time. He got forward when he needed to, and yeah, I don't, providing he carries on, I can't see that being a bad replacement for Fredericks at the minute. Again, Souček, before he went off, I thought he played well. Antonio, you can't really, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's got a touch of an R sometimes, but at the same time, he is a bit of a handful. I'd rather have him on the pitch than on the bench. It's one of them. But yeah, in general, Ogbonna was good. Diop was good. Yeah, there was a few good players. I do think Bowen needs a bit more game time. I mean, would he come on the 82nd or the 83rd minute? I'd like to see him come on and play a little bit more. I'd actually like to see him start against Southampton coming up the weekend. I think he can offer a little bit more. And like you say, towards the end of the game, he had the golden chance. He could have just flicked it over on another day. That might have gone in, and what an end to the game that would have been. But yeah, in general, the kid at right back I thought played really well. I'm not going to try saying his name because I'll probably get it right. Ngakia, is it?
Yeah, good. Good.
Right? So, but yeah, I thought he played well, and I thought Souček played well. So, but I was happy for Fornals to get a goal as well.
Gonzo, take a couple of players, give them some praise.
Yeah, I'll just be bored. I'll just be a little bit boring, but it was rhinoceros. I think was the word that Bez was looking for. Antonio has the touch of a rhinoceros. And Gakia, I thought he was absolutely brilliant. I'm going to temper it, like you just did, with a negativity because he's so young. He hasn't got the game management yet, but he's got the ability. The ability is all there, and I mean, there was one tackle in particular. If he gets that wrong, it's just a penalty. But it was beautiful. But it's just to speak of that would indicate all he's done is a tackle. No. I like the way he travelled up the ball. I like the way he overlapped. I thought he was in good control of the ball. I thought he was fast. I thought he was strong. There was a lot to admire from that kid. And I thought there was an experience, but there was also maturity, just to contradict myself as well. There was just a couple of times where he sort of got stuck with the ball and he didn't know what to do, which experience will just tell him. But he will have a lot easier game. He's had already, Mane, this season, easier games than that, and he will have easier games to come. Well done, boy. Well done. I thought Diop was really good today as well. Is it playing in the 2? I don't know. Also thought Ogbonna as well. Grew into the game and just got better. Such a good player, and so I liked their partnership today. Souček we've discussed him already, was commanding, really commanding in the centre of the park, and I felt was an equal to anything they had. Yes, we lack a little bit of pace in there. If we could have one fast player amongst the three of them, that would be great. So a couple of times Wijnaldum in particular ran beyond, but I mean, in terms of what you've got to do as a midfielder, head, tackle, pass, control, excellent from Souček. And I will go with Anderson as well. I did think it was horrendous, not just bad, horrendous in the first half. But I do agree with and I would have taken him off. I do agree with what Bez said there. In the second half, he went on 2 dribbles. One of them he dribbled past 3 people. Actually did what he committed to the dribble and actually went past it. He was confident, and actually on one of them he played a really, really good pass as well. I guess it must have been fitness because at that point he done this wonderful stuff. He does come off. He didn't look knackered. You look at other players on the pitch and say they looked more knackered than him. Yeah, I mean, and there's no point going over. I've discussed the bad stuff of Fabianski, but all in all, I think that's not going to be a miserable bus, plane, train, however they get home. that is not going to be a miserable vehicle that they travel home in. I think everyone's going to be quite buzzing, actually.
I think we missed Souček when he went off. When he went off, I thought we lacked a lot of bite in the middle of the park. I thought we started getting overrun a little bit in there. I thought Rice was class tonight. I thought Declan Rice was unbelievable. He was winning everything. He was driving forward. In the 98th minute, he was running after centre-backs trying to win the ball. He was getting out wide and getting crosses in. He was just everywhere. He was by far one of the best players on the pitch tonight. I thought our centre-backs, both of them, were just top class. Everything that come in the box they were dealing with, they were really, really good. I thought everyone played well to an extent. I don't think anyone was less than a 7 out of 10 particularly. I thought everybody played really good. But I'll save my man of match for in a bit. I thought Noble was a little bit off the pace a bit, but a bit like Snodgrass, they both gave 110%, and it's hard sometimes because you can only take so many of them out and put in the more flair players, if you like, and then you just lose something, and they just give you that something extra. I think Nagaki would have been helped out by having Snodgrass in front of him for the first hour, well, 80 minutes or whatever Snodgrass was on. While he wasn't his best performance, the set pieces were on point again, and it's almost like the David Beckham thing at one point. Could you justify keeping someone in the team just for his set pieces? And when they're like tonight, you have to say yes, because at the very end of the game, we got 2 set pieces. One was not great, but Noble was close with the rebound, and then at the very end, it hit the first man, and you thought, come on, now's the time we need something good. But yeah, I thought everybody was really good. Last question, boys. Bez, can I have your man of match, please?
I think if Souček would have stayed on, I would have given it to him. But again, I'm going to give it to Ngakia. I'm going to give it to the young kid. It was a big ask for him to go to Liverpool and defend against Mane on his second outing, and I just felt like he'd done all right. Like it's very hard to choose a man of the match tonight, because I did think there was a couple of players that played really well, but there was a couple of really good half performances. Like you say, Souček played well. I felt certain players played better in the second half than they did the first half, and likewise. So, but in general, I'm going to give it to the kid. I think he done well tonight. I think he held his own. So, I think he certainly cemented a place in the team whilst Frederick is injured, and we've actually got a bit of pace at right back. Really. So.
Gonzo, your man of match, please.
Yeah, I wouldn't overly. I'm not going to choose Ngakia, but I wouldn't argue with that. You know, sometimes someone else picks a man of match. You think, hold on, you know. But as I could totally understand there, and he'd certainly be in maybe top 4 players. I totally agree with Souček. Had he carried on, but I did actually think about it after we went off at half time, and when he, at the start of the second half, I thought, can I give him man of the match, because he was on for it. There's no doubt about that at all. And I think had he scored a goal or something like that, he probably would have done. But I'm going to give it to Issa Diop, because I just thought he was absolutely magnificent today. And he scored a goal. I might have even given it to him without a goal. I don't know. I just thought that was, for the first time in a long, long time, he looked like the player that we thought we had, or he's not looked that way for a long time. I thought he was brilliant. I don't think the goals were his fault at all. And on another day, on a slightly luckier day, he walks away with a clean sheet and a goal, and a top performance from him.
Do you remember when we did a player ratings, which is for our patrons, links in description, when we did a player ratings show, I can't remember who it was. We were away to someone. Snodgrass came on. He set up a goal and scored a goal, but it was disallowed. Sheffield United. And I said to you,
yes,
when we did the player ratings, I actually gave Snodgrass a higher mark than the actual man of match.
Yes.
I'm away to do a repeat here. I think Declan Rice was my highest rating player, but I'm going to give my man of match to Ngakia because of the circumstances in terms of his age, his experience. And the boy was up against a world class player. Like you said, he's probably going to win PFA Player of the Year, the player of the season. And Ngakia had him not in his pocket, but he was going toe to toe with him. He wasn't backing up. And then sometimes you see a player get a ball, a wide player get the ball, the fullback drops off until it's sort of edge of the 18-yard and there's just no room. When Manny got the ball, and Ngakia was ready to go toe to toe. Said, "Come on, then I'm gonna tackle you here," and he was winning them. The only time Manny got the better of him was when he conceded a free kick in the first half. But that just comes down to inexperience and almost like over enthusiasm, if you like. But it was that same over enthusiasm which allowed him to win so many challenges prior And after that, Manny will be coming off today thinking, I've had a tough game against that boy. Manny's probably never heard of him. And he's probably come up, I'll tell you something, Manny's heard of him now after that performance. He will know exactly who Ngakia is. We did the build-up show before the game. And I said to Gonzo, I want to see Ngakia grab this shirt. The shirt's there to be won before the rest of the season. I think he's done that tonight. I think he starts against Southampton, and unless he has a bad performance, it's his position till the end of the season. And he is possibly the reason we will now play a back four between now and the end of the season. There's obviously a reason David Moyes doesn't want to do it. He keeps switching to 5 at the back. Maybe it is a right back situation, I don't know. And if it is, problem solved now. We've got the solution. Stick with the back four, stick with that kid at right back. Man of match for me, Ngakia. But anyway, you guys at home, if you've enjoyed this video, drop a like on it. Scouting you around here, but please take 2 minutes. Like I said at the start, it's Dylan Tom Bdes Foundation. Me and Gonzo are going to be pestering you all week about it. You're going to get fed up, but it doesn't matter. It's an important message. Please just take 2 minutes. Bez, you're going to take 2 minutes tonight to check yourself?
Of course I am, mate.
Good lad. Gonzo would have been if we'd won. But anyway.
Listen, mate, I'll check myself every 2 minutes. My hand's always down there, so don't worry about it.
That's why I've got big hands now.
Right.
It don't take me long to check mine, Bez. Anyway.
Right, we're off. Catch you in a bit.